What is the best possible thing that could happen immediately after you take up a very challenging defender to rank 4? Any guesses? I'll give you a clue. Immediately after you take that defender to rank 4, Kabam introduced a horribly, horribly dangerous node in the next Battlegrounds meta that turns your defender from an ordinary menace into a weapon of mass destruction. So today, we're going to be having a look at the 7-star rank 4 signature level 200 Kindred in Footloose. Now, if you don't know why this is completely damning, then let me fill you in. Basically, the whole point of fighting Kindred is punishing his SB1 and his SB2 with any attack to make sure you pause his charge gain so he doesn't enter Nightmare Outbreak, so he doesn't degenerate you. And what Footloose does is every time the opponent throws a special attack, they gain an Unstoppable and Evade buff. This makes it very, very difficult to punish his SB1 and SB2 safely. And what this means is he degenerates you off the surface of the earth, and he goes from a very challenging skill check defender to an absolute menace, to just easily hands down top 3 defenders in the entire game. And you're going to see basically a collection of random Battlegrounds fights. Here we have Luke Cage versus Nico Minoru, and we're just going to travel around playing a bit of Spider-Ham, a little bit of Jean Grey, a little bit of Juggernaut, and we're going to have some fun watching our opponents get absolutely melted by Kindred. Now, I will say, before we get into the general commentary, that there are certain characters that can handle this. Funnily enough, obviously Tigra does Tigra things. Luke Cage will probably survive against this sort of Kindred. But Falcon Joaquin Torres is an exceptional counter to Kindred in this meta, which is really funny. When he's in his defensive mode or his combined mode, every time the opponent throws a special attack, he will place a slow debuff on the opponent. So actually, he does quite well, which is odd. He won't be the fastest, but there we go. Champions with Stagger, so Juggernaut or Anti-Venom or Titania, if you are very skilled, all do that very, very nicely. But you can see in this video, we're going to see, slightly off-brand champions like Red Skull or Shuri or Nico Minoru, but also like meta options for Kindred, like Spider-Ham, like Photon, go up against this guy, like Human Torch, and just get absolutely destroyed by this man on defense. Unfortunately, I was unable to collect myself a matchup for Count Nefaria doing this. However, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze in a second. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Here we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. Because I do want to get these videos out, and as you can tell, this is my newest rank 4 playing right now. So this is Sunspot, who I just took to rank 4, and I'm kind of juggling rank 4 gameplay videos. Obviously, we have this video on Kindred, but I also want to make a couple more videos maybe on Cull Obsidian, and I have the Sunspot Mega Showcase on the way, so I kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone with this bit of footage here. But yeah, this Nick Fury fight could have been a lot better. He threw a full 5-hit combo into my block with his Fury active, but I'll save you the waiting game with Red Skull. He comes out with less than 30,000 points. You're going to see a bit of a common theme in this video is most opponents will get him down like a good way. Some will even get him like below 5%, and then the degen. The degen, man, it just destroys them. Like here, we have a 7-star rank 3 Human Torch. This guy spent $1,000 getting this character, and he is about to be decimated by Kindred. And we have ourselves a pretty traditional matchup. So we have Jean Grey versus Yelena Belova. Absolutely no issues with that whatsoever. But yeah, we're going to have some fun just working my way around Battlegrounds today. So yeah, we have this video coming out, and then I don't think the community has properly had the point to hammered home to it that Cull Obsidian is completely ridiculous. Like, I put out a couple of videos, and one of them did really, really, really well, but there were like people who were like aggressively rejecting the idea that he is insane. And so I do leave on, towards the end of this video, I leave the camera running, just so we can quickly observe a Cull Obsidian war crime later on against a high evolutionary, but that's for later. So here we just chuck a heavy attack, we gain an uncanny passive, allowing us to throw our SP2 a little bit quicker against this Yelena, and I mean, she's not even going to survive until the 3rd hit. The overkill goes crazy, and Human Torch, $1,000 character, in the bin, What was this? I believe it was around 29,000 points, or was it a bit more than that? Yeah, 35,000 points. Hey, he killed him with 10% health remaining in 70 seconds. Yeah. What a character, man. What a character. Now, this bit of gameplay here, I have to admit, this wasn't actually me playing. So if you caught my live stream yesterday or you caught my last video, I had some friends over for 9.3 and I just thought, you know what, man? You play this one. You play this one. Bit of fun. He hasn't played Deathless Thanos. I thought I'd give him the privilege. And despite my immaculate coaching, telling him how to play Deathless Thanos, he hasn't played Marvel Contest of Champions properly in like a year, and he's not the best player. So, and of course, my coaching is completely perfect in every single way. So despite me coaching him, this matchup isn't gonna go very well, and we do end up losing both this match and the round overall, so Photon does beat us. But this footage will go to show that actually, like, you can play like a scrub, you can play really badly, and if your opponent isn't absolutely on it in a meta like this, Kindred can make it close. Like, Kindred can be dangerous enough to, like, make matchups closer than they should be when you are playing like an absolute scrub. When you're playing like someone who doesn't know what they're doing, like my friend does not know what he's doing here. And you're going to see, he lets his block go mid-special attack. We do not have enough necrotic charges, and Deathless Thanos is just going to get ended here by an absolutely soul-destroying light attack intercept from Cassandra Nova. But yeah, we get wrecked a little bit, but so does Photon. That's a rank 4 Photon, and she's going to come in with less than 30,000 points. Like, that's soul-destroying for my opponent. He got him down all the way, all the way down to 0.0% health, and Kindred's like, nah. I imagine he was fairly healthy when he got there, and then the degen from the root, nah. Sig 200 Kindred root, not even fair. Not even fair. Now here, you're actually going to see me take on a Kindred. It's my rank 4 Juggernaut against a rank 3 Kindred, and you're going to see just how dangerous this can be. Luckily, this one ends well, but you can see, thanks to him throwing a heavy attack, we've already got 39 Infest passives on us. That's ridiculous, and he's going to, stall for just a few seconds here, and even then, Nightmare Outbreak's done. Like, it's on me. I'm now in trouble. I've got to back off. He's stalling me. If my opponent's got a fast matchup, I've now probably lost. If I'm not backing up against the wall, if he didn't throw a heavy attack there, and he just kept walking, we would have taken some massive degen damage. There is a very barky dog outside. That's incredible. But here, thankfully, he lets me live, and we just gain a little bit of power to push us over 1 bar of power, and the special attack gets us out of the root, and one more hit is going to end Kindred. But he actually entered Nightmare Outbreak again, right at the end. One last gasp of trying to murder me. But that Spider-Ham, that Spider-Ham did better than the Spider-Ham at the start of the video. But even then, 47,000 points from one of the best meta options, one of the best RPG counters to Kindred. That is not a strong score at all. Like, if your opponent has a half-decent matchup, they will beat you. They will beat you if you get 47,100 points. That is not good enough most of the time. Now, talking of meta options, this is another piece of footage where I have a Kindred of my own to deal with, but my R4 Kindred is on defense. My opponent elected to go with Shuri, which was a bit odd because I'm fairly sure he had Count Nefaria in his deck, which was odd, or that might have been a different bit of footage, but I can't remember. But yeah, Tigra, in my opinion, I have very strong views on who is the best Kindred counter of the entire game, and that is Tigra. Right, I believe Tigra is where it's at. You can see 100% chance guaranteed to shut off the Footloose, but also get just that guaranteed opening from punishing the SB1 thanks to the heavy miss. And here, I go too far. I thought I threw the SB2 right at the last moment, and in fact I threw the SB3. So if I'd thrown off the SB2 there, the additional power gain thanks to Tigra's senses would have meant that he was at 5% health because that SB2 would have ripped. And I would have had another SB1 ready to get myself out of the root. It would have been like a 52,000 point score. Kindred, like 100%. If you are a Tigra player, Tigra fanatic, learn Tigra. Learn Tigra and learn to play Kindred. You see then, even though he triggered Nightmare Outbreak, even though I threw the SB3, 49,000 points, and, I mean, it's Shuri. Like, he can play silly buggers with the Untouchable. Fundamentally, that matchup is not going to end very well for you. And I think she comes out with, 37,000 points. Better than most. Better than Human Torch. Better than Human Torch, I guess. And this is going to be the last match here. So he plays Kindred, and my opponent is going to try another unique way of getting around buff. She's going to try Nico Minoru. So the tactic there is to basically keep him buff immune and just pray that you can keep that up for the entire fight. Now, I actually did that myself. In another match, in another round, I faced a Kindred. I used my Nico. I got my ass handed to me, I'll be honest. It is so stressful keeping up that buff immunity. Mine's an Unawakened rank 3. This guy's got a Awakened R4, Nico Minoru, and he does it a little bit better than me, obviously, but it's still definitely like a soul-destroying matchup, that, and it's going to be more than enough to allow Spider-Ham just to cook this thing very, very quickly, and we're just going to come away with the round, right? That's just it. Over time, I took up Kindred when he was Unawakened. I took up Kindred to rank 3 when he was Unawakened, right? That's how confident I was in this guy. But he was definitely like a round 2 sort of defender. Like, if you secure round 1, then place him in round 2. But I wouldn't, like, bank round 1 or round 3 on the Unawakened version of Kindred. Certainly not now at rank 3. Now at rank 3, he would just be destroyed. Back then, rank 3s were a little bit rarer. But, like, seriously, the more I have Kindred, the more I see what he can do on defense, the more I'm like, yeah, I stake round 1 on this guy. I stake the final round on this guy, saving him for when it matters, not as kind of like on the off chance the opponent screws up. No, he is my first choice on defense. It's just insane what this guy is capable of. And you can see that. Like, Barrowman has a rank 4 Kindred. I know that's an empty argument from authority, but still, you know, he knows all about the game. You think that he would make a good rank-up decision. I believe he did. Nico Minoru went beyond the timer here and came out with like 27,000 points. She didn't even get close to finishing. I think he did keep the buff immunity active vaguely, but it's just so slow. And I am going to keep the camera running here. Because you may see there in the bottom right-hand corner, my opponent has a rank 3, fairly high signature level, high evolutionary. And he dared plays high evolutionary on defense, while I have a 7-star rank 4 signature level 200 Cull Obsidian. I know this video is about Kindred, but I'm not done showing the community just how bonkers Cull is. So he plays his high evolutionary. I placed Onslaught on defense. He's going to go in with, I believe, Future Ant-Man. But let's be honest, he could go in there with the most perfect Onslaught counter ever designed, and he would not come close to matching this war crime, okay? Children, avert your eyes. Everybody, after watching this video, if you make it through the bloodshed, I recommend we all take a cold shower to wash off the filth, because this is just disgusting. It's exactly the same rotation as in Foresight, right? If you thought that Cull Obsidian was only going to be good in Foresight, think again, right? The same rotation. 3 heavy attacks, we get 8 out of the 9 possible armor breaks, 1 combo into the SP2, and that is going to be all she wrote for the latest 5 out of 5 defender to hit Marvel Contest of Champions. 52,816 points, get in the bin. And that is just about all I have for you today. So if you have made it this far, then congratulations. You have the attention span greater than that of a goldfish, and go away.